Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Sex, Lies, and Consciousness with your luscious hostess, May Vu, broadcasting live every Monday at 12 noon Pacific Time.
Welcome to the show, everyone. This is May. Today's topic is about sex and power. I've been thinking about this sex and power a lot these last few days, and to me the subject is big, fuzzy, and hard to put my arms around. At the same time, I see so much wisdom here and also hidden gems, and I have so much excitement for the new discoveries that we'll get as we talk about this. I think sex and power is intertwined so much it's hard to see them clearly. Here's a quick example. If I'm about to have sex with someone, what got me there and what has me committed to follow through with the urge of having sex with this person resides heavily on his powers, what I call them power cards, his masculinity, his look, his status in life, his perceived ability to protect and provide for me, his intelligence, perhaps even how much money he has, the car he drives, and all the way to does this person have the power to take me in bed. All of these are power cards that influence how hot sex might get in my mind. And then there's the other side of the coin, which is my power. How pretty, how sexy, youthful, skinny, attractive, flirty, wholesome I feel in that play. And these are my power cards that I bring to the bedroom. And if these are on, we have heat. Sometimes I even find that if I'm really all turned on with all my power cards, he doesn't even have to do that much, and he doesn't even have all his power cards, and I could still get the show going. I might not read book, but I can definitely carry the show and make sex really hot. And then there's this other set of invisible power cards, like our childhood wounds, the wanty, needy list that we have in our head, the games that we play that we're unconscious of. These are our unconscious power cards. Now, this arena impacts how we interpret what's going on with our sex and our relationship, and it's a lot harder to identify and put our fingers on. I wonder if this is possibly one reason why we drink in order to have sex, so that we can continue to be unconscious of these needy areas, or that we don't even have sex at all so that we can avoid the whole thing. Well, today in the studio with me is my friend and colleague, Gregory Joseph. Gregory is back by popular demand. He was here last month for the show Sex and Addiction. On that show, Gregory helped identify the subconscious addictions that a handful of our callers didn't even know they had. But those addictions impact how they attract and behave with each other in relationships. And today, Gregory is back playing with me and will address callers' issues with power. But before we dive in, I also have another guest with us, and his name is Brandon Barrett. Brandon is going to introduce Gregory. Brandon knows the extensive depth of Gregory's training and background. And to be honest, I just don't do justice in how I introduce Gregory. I just say, he's a great friend of mine. He's an amazing intuitive healer, and here he is. Brandon, will you please tell the audience who the real Gregory is and why we should do a little gasp, or kiss his ring or something respectful when Gregory is in the house. Brandon?
Well, thank you for that. The real Greg Joseph is a fabulous question. My introduction to Greg, and for me to describe Greg, I think there is an important backdrop, so to speak, of the stage that really has helped form and shape Greg. When I met Greg, I was on my own search for power and my own search for who I was as a person. And what I discovered was an experience and a sharing and a transfer of knowledge that I hadn't experienced in any other realm, both spiritual or physical. And what I found out about Greg's training and the manner in which he was presented to me was that he was really a direct descendant of the West Coast personal development movement. For folks out there that are familiar with Werner Erhard or EST at the original time, Psi seminars or LifeSpring, any of these seminars all started from a seminar called Mind Dynamics. It was launched in the early 60s by a gentleman by the name of William Penpatrick and Alexander Everett. Now the work, the body of work, the I am presence, and the method for training the mind to serve the body and to manifest the power that we're really looking for was given to Alexander from his guides to spread the word throughout the world. Greg just happens to be the last protege of Alexander Everett and has carried on that great work. So from all these seminars and the seminars that have contributed in great ways to people's lives, the origin and the roots and the gift that work was both Alexander's work and had been passed down to Greg through Alexander. So the real Greg Joseph in my mind is a man who has studied with the masters and who has been connected in a way that I have no earthly way to describe other than he's offered immense value to my experience and my friendship with him, and I've been able to pull and rein my own power in through the interactions that I've had with Greg Joseph.
Thank you, Brandon. That was beautiful. I feel the same way, but I just didn't have the history and the words to describe it. I just know that whenever I get on Skype with Gregory, he looks at me and I look at him, and I just start crying. And something gets transmitted in there, and then I feel so much better. So now I know why. Gregory, welcome to the show, honey. What do you think? What's your take around sex and power? Let's just get you in here.
Well, hello everybody. I'm back, and it's good to be here again. May always opens the doors in ways that I never think of. She pushes the barriers here, and it makes me think about a lot of things. First of all, like sexual energy, there is a great healing around that. There's certain endorphins that are released in sex when one is engaged in sex that actually have this euphoric kind of feeling that allow you to interrupt patterns that are running that would inhibit you in most everything in your life. And when you're having sex, then you can interrupt the entire program and be completely in the moment. And being in the moment is something that I really advocate. That's the whole thrust of my work, is to be in the moment. One can accomplish that with sex. So in that sense, sex and the spiritual and physical aspect of it are not separate, but one and the same. One can invoke the other and get both at a very heightened state of awareness in the totality of the moment. And that's crucial.
That's lovely. I mean, it's like, it's such a lovely way of looking at sex as a way to access your spirituality by being in the moment. So when we have unconscious sex, or when we drink ourselves to oblivion and then have sex, it just kind of like counter all of that.
Yes, it's not a very nice experience. It's like getting halfway done with the project and not completing, going down all the way to the 2-yard line and turning around and going home. You've missed the whole point, you know.
For me, it's more like trying to do a really nice craft project, you know, with details and little intimate gluing together, and then you're drunk, so your hands are like all shaky and everything, and you're just slapping this thing together, and it goes, there it is.
Yeah, one's heightening awareness and one's masking it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like there's so much guilt surrounding, for example, maybe the issues that sex brings up for a lot of people, and so using alcohol to mask it then masks the actual beauty of the act. Right.
And all the discovery and all the exchange in power and all the every intimate step of the way, it's just you're missing it. Anyway, I do have a whole long line of callers online ready to talk with you I'm sure they have questions in one form or another around their sexuality and their power. And I do want to ask you to focus in on that one today, Gregory. Like, really just tap into their sexual chakra and their power and see what you see there more than just in general.
Sure.
Is it possible to make this request? I love it.
Yeah, we'll see what comes up.
Okay, let's see. Who shall go first? I'll go with Miss Lenora. Miss Lenora, are you there?
I am, Miss May. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in and being on the show. Lenora, go ahead and ask Gregory whatever you want to play with.
Okay, I'll just dive straight into the deep end. So, Gregory, I spent a very, very, very long time in the recent past being very sexually inactive, and I've just started becoming sexually active again, and I'm wondering if there's anything that you see around there that would be helpful to me.
Becoming sexually active again. A choice?
Yes. By very
so you just
choice.
A very conscious choice. Okay. The withholding, I saw the withholding part. There was like a slapping, like I felt like a slapping, like a ruler on the knuckle kind of thing in school. An upbringing kind of thing that said this is bad and dirty, and it surfaces from time to time.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then the withholding portion of it, though, there's several things involved. I see here that, I see like several male energies, and there's a time of exploring, which we all go through. But for one reason or another, this exploring went a little bit past your comfort zone. It just went, the power that you experienced from the male energy at the time, not opening to your own power, still harboring those thoughts of this is bad, so holding back, put you in a place of feeling powerless.
Yes.
Okay, so now there's an opening here that says, I am powerful.
Yes.
Truly, there's hardly a male that can match the ability that a woman has for her complete body to be in this euphoric state. And this would be without, for example, this can be achieved without the actual consummation of the sex act by bringing the energy up into the whole body. So you're coming into a great balance right now where I can actually see, even as we're talking, the energy moves up to your heart, and there's a lot of energy in your head, literally, and then bring it back down again into your heart, bring it into your solar plexus, let it go into your pelvic area, into the second chakra, which is the emotional chakra, your sexual organs, which provides, incidentally, motivation for everything that we do. That's our emotional desires, so to speak. And it's coming alive. Was this for a certain individual that kind of helped balance you back in this way?
Yes.
So what do you feel about yourself right now? Just notice right now what's going on when I brought up somebody else and we're talking about your sexuality, and it's like I just see this blossom happen, like this beautiful flower just opening. You've yet even to come even a little close to the power that you wield.
Yes, that's what I feel like it's in process, and it's and I feel like I'm taking baby steps, and I work up to my edge, and then let that.
Sure. What's holding you back? What's actually holding you back? Why baby steps? Why not just let go?
That is such an excellent question that I haven't explored. Part of the reason is I have concerns about either blowing out myself or my sex partner.
Let's call that for a minute an ego trip.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
Sure. As speaking from the male perspective here for just a second, it's when a woman goes into that amazingly euphoric state, it is so contagious. It is so honoring and incredible, and it raises the vibration. All of this is about vibrations to such a place that bonds are made that are incredible. Bonds made with your own heart and with the auric blend of both of you, that you'll be able to have a certain level of knowing and understanding, whether it develops into a long-range relationship or not, that will never go away. There's an endearment about such a pure energy.
Okay.
Do you see? So in that sense, would there be anything to fear?
No, actually there wouldn't be.
So let's stop here now.
Okay. Thank you so very, very much.
Hey, Lenora?
Yes?
The whole time as I'm listening to you, pardon my TMI graphic description, everyone, but like my whole vagina just felt really alive, and it's swirling, and it's just like dancing, and it just has so much joy down there. So I don't know how that relates to you, but I'm just like picking up like, let me play, woo, like that's the sound down there that's starting to make.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Go enjoy her.
Do you know what I want to say to Laura? Is like, just scream. You know, It's like there's a haltingness in your voice. I can hear it, and it just let it out. Just scream. Go to the window. When you get off the phone, don't do it in the phone.
Okay.
but just scream and just let it out. Just like imagine the scream coming from the bottom of your toes all the way to the top of your head.
I can definitely.
Just let it out. Ah, yes.
We want to hear it all the way from California. I know you're in Denver, so in Colorado. It's like, woo, all the way from California. We want to feel it, hear it.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
Go have fun, honey bunny.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was so much fun. What to say about that? It's so interesting how sometimes we can be so careful of like being respectful and careful of our sex and ourselves and other people, that we actually could dampen our sex unconsciously or unknowingly.
Mm-hmm. And look up, when that happens, how many other places in your life are you repressing?
Of course. How we are with our sex is how we are with the rest of our life. So get on it, people.
Yes.
Let's go to Stephen. Stephen, I'm going to put you on.
Okay.
Stephen. Yay, there you are.
Hey, everybody.
Stephen, go ahead and speak louder on into your mic so that we can hear, okay?
Okay. Any better now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. Okay. Quite typical. Asking me to speak louder seems to be something that I have gone through most of my life. Being concerned that power, including sexual power, was not a nice thing for people, and that people used it against each other. And it's only recently that I'm now understanding that isn't the case. And I am trying to transition from small mentality to much bigger mentality, and I'm actually having a nice time with it, and I still become uncomfortable here and there through the ways, especially with the sexual part of it.
Yeah, you have the sensitive. I got a picture of a deer. It's just something so soft and beautiful.
And Gregory, it's your turn. You need to speak louder too, honey.
I will do that.
Thanks.
I got a picture of a deer. Something so soft and beautiful and just allowing. So here's this energy of allowing rather than choice, so to speak. Does that mean something to you?
I love moving into the surrender part of it. That is pretty new to me.
Surrender instead of what? Instead of control?
Yes.
But are you controlling? Talk a little bit more about controlling to me.
I'm thinking that the controlling part may be a little bit more, see to it that I appear to be cool all the time rather than just live in the moment. I am really trying to do that, just live in the moment.
So this is controlling as in holding yourself back.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Okay, well, you don't have to be afraid because it's coming out right now. This is pretty courageous to be on a public show like this and speak candidly about what's going on. Yeah.
Yes.
So you've taken the first step in relinquishing this control. So it sounds to me like the word control, when I first heard it, was like, well, I'm going to control the sexual act. I'm going to control who it's going to be with. I'm going to control how it's happened. Isn't what's going on. It's I'm going to withhold me being all that I can be, maybe my playfulness with it, or maybe even having fun with control. Maybe even being controlled or controlling during the sexual process.
I have to tell Stephen's secret. It just kind of hit me. So, he's laughing already. So, in real life, Stephen does have issues with power, with his own power, actually. And he's shy, and you can hear from his voice. He's like this tender deer. But in his secret life, he's like a holy moly, top masterful, dom in the BDSM world.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows about control and power. He knows how to take power. He can go to the sadistic place. So, but somehow Stephen has some kind of like gap between that power that he empowered himself to take on and provide pleasure for women and his partners. He doesn't translate that into real life. Ha! Right, Stephen?
May got it.
So, in the course, or it would be a controlled setting, you allow yourself the freedom.
Yes,
and
that's
so. What's so afraid? I see actually there's a little girl in your life about 3 years old or something, like maybe you hurt or something like that. Something happened around that time frame. All of a sudden I saw this little girl kind of screaming and putting up her hand, and you didn't help her. Does that resonate with you at all?
I can think of a thing or two that far back, yes.
What do you see?
Okay.
Well, I managed to lose my first girlfriend. She died in the second or third grade. The third grade. That really did a lot. That really did a lot to me, as did death of other people since.
Felt pretty powerless, huh?
Yes, I was. There was absolutely the poor little lady was destroyed from birth. She had many health problems her whole little life.
Somehow I sense that these two are connected strongly. It wasn't that you hurt somebody, but realizing the reins of power and how they work, wanting to be in control of that power. And if you go too far with this role play, for example, then you'll become powerless.
Yes, I tend to leave it back in the controlled environment and have a bit of an issue of power in everyday life.
Do you get that
And
you were not in any way... Yeah, Steve, do you get that you were not in any way responsible for that little girl? In other words, you're responsible to her in... Go ahead.
I don't feel responsible now. I don't remember quite if I did, only that I did feel very powerless.
Yeah.
That I can remember.
So, do you suppose that in this event, being that it happened in your life, that the way that you would be best remembered would be to embrace the situation as an incredible experience for you to manifest your power?
That's very hard, and I have attempted that later in life as my adult friends would once in a while begin to drop off. When it happens to a child, it's very hard for me to think of overcoming something like that when I had absolutely no control over it either, including my own feelings.
Did you feel left behind, like abandoned in some sense?
Did I feel left behind and abandoned?
Yeah.
Left behind and abandoned? Yes, I did.
Yeah. See, what's happening, what I'm picking up here, you see, is as we're talking, I can sense your fear just building up. It's like just passing through your solar plexus, between your solar plexus and your heart. And so you'll come so far with a relationship and then begin to self-sabotage so that the relationship ends so that you won't be abandoned, and then the end result is actually abandoned.
That's happened, yes.
Have you ever... I'm just... Something happens when we experience an event in our past, and I'm really clear we don't remember our past. We remember what we make up about it. And then we also make up something about ourselves, i.e., I could have saved her, I should have, I didn't do anything. I'm powerless, for example.
That
what goes
I am
on for
definitely
you?
trying to overcome.
Okay, let's remove the word sure. Well, let's do it now, yeah? Do you want to just, are you ready to just release that now? And you can do it very simple now. Yeah, are you ready to release it now?
Yes.
Very good. Say yes again.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Now it feels like you want to release it. Now there's just a simple process here that we'll do. There's several, but we'll just use this one as it comes up because you have never forgiven yourself for being, quote, powerless. Even declaring yourself powerless is what I'm talking about. So, first of all, is it really true that you're powerless?
I'm not completely powerless over everything.
Well, is it really true that you're powerless? Notice you want to qualify this. Just notice that. That's all right. But in the terms of a yes or no question, are you powerless?
No.
That would make you powerful.
No.
What does it make you? I already know that you can be powerful. You've displayed it in the class, yes?
I have. Yes.
And go ahead, you were about to say something.
I'm going to step out of powerless. There comes an exchange here and there, but even if somebody is powerless, powerful, that means they are powerful enough to declare themselves powerless for the moment.
Okay, so you went from trying.
That.
Okay, you went from trying to going to. Let's even bring it closer into now.
Now it's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so I am.
I am.
Finish that. No.
Powerful.
Go ahead. Again.
Okay. I am powerful.
Say it. Concentrate your energy at the center of your heart.
I am powerful.
And say it again.
I am powerful.
Now, right in that space between your solar plexus and your heart, right there. Can you feel that kind of fluttering there? Speak from there.
I am powerful.
Stephen, what I got is like you have to give up your your makeup of the soft guy, like the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, all your demeanor, like all of that learned behavior you took on to make yourself safe and gentle. It's like for this moment with me and Gregory, can you put that down and just take on that full power of the deer or the full power of your masculine self?
I am powerful enough to be powerless when I want to be. I know that I want to surrender in certain places. I know that I want to surrender to life. And as I continue surrendering, the further I go along, I feel so much better, and sometimes I become more afraid.
I think surrender.
And I'm powerful enough. Yes.
You know, the way I'm hearing you speak the word surrender, I'm not quite sure you understand it.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you say surrender like give up. Surrender is like coming to your power, yeah?
Surrendering to parts of life that I have been unable to surrender and accept before.
Wait, okay. This is made. You smell a little victim in there. It's like surrender to the powers of life. Wait a minute. See, are you not the person that creates your life? Okay. But just notice that's what you said, okay? It's okay. Now, do this. Put your left hand over your heart and say, I forgive myself.
Okay.
And just say it out loud.
I have my left hand over my heart.
And say, I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
Put your right hand over your left hand and say, and I love myself.
Put the phone to that. Okay.
Sure.
All right, my right hand over my left hand and say,
yeah.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Do it again.
Now put the two together.
I love myself.
I forgive myself, and I love myself.
I forgive myself, and I love myself.
Nice.
What is your hesitation, Stephen?
Only that I wasn't sure if I got the if I heard the message right. My speaker isn't very clear. Please may I say it again? I forgive myself and I love myself.
Check into your body. Where's the energy?
It's coming from my stomach, near the top of it, and it's moving up into my chest where my hands are.
Okay, let it flow. Just let it flow. Yeah, May, you're doing this too. I can feel it.
Of course I am.
You hear when May talks how jubilant and the joy, and it sounds like she's speaking from her heart. Did you hear the difference in that, Stephen, than how you were talking?
May I say it again?
Yeah, did you hear when May, just when she speaks, the jubilance and the joy that comes from her heart, and she's not halting on her words. She just speaks it. If it's in there, she says it. Do you hear what a joy that is?
It's beautiful. I heard, yes. Thank you. I heard it.
Sure. Jump in.
Well, let me take the hot seat off of Stephen for a second. Suddenly I just got really in touch with all the tender-footed people out there. You know, like I could just feel whoever that's listening that, you know, may sound like Stephen or may relate to Stephen. You know, it's like there's something, like when you build your whole life being on the edge and just watching or holding or supporting rather than asserting, you know, like people like me, we assert too much, and people like Stephen hold so much that it's hard to make them jump, you know. I just feel like we're behind them and we're pushing them into the pool or something, and I just want to love them for a second and just go, yeah, I know it's a totally different game, and I know it's a totally different feel to it, you know, and it feels so scary and so different, and I just want to invite you to like jump by asserting yourself, by declaring, by stating, by no matter how wrong you could be, just like own it for that moment. That power is so needed for you and the people around you.
That's so brilliant. It's like when somebody's ill and we say, oh, we have to be positive. You say, I'm healed. And your brain goes, wait a minute, you just lied. You're not healed. But how about I'm healing myself now? You see, and you can make that affirmation fit and come into true alignment. So that's what I hear May talking about here. It's like we don't have to tell lies. We don't say something that's not true just to make it happen. But we say, this is the direction I want to go, and I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
So you notice that like I was going after the hesitations. I say, can you do this now? And if you can say yes, just say yes. It doesn't. You just let the words and the vibrations work on you. Because the alternative is to hesitate or say no. And hesitation is actually a no answer. So we just consider that. Now, that's a good thing for everybody to know. It's great you brought that up.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you. That feels wonderful.
Thank you. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk with Maria from Sweden. I don't know where she is today, but she usually lives in Sweden. So, here we go.
Is your marriage or relationship in crisis? Where one partner wants to expand into their sex and bring scary changes to the relationship, while the other partner is dug in, protective, and saying, no way in hell is this going to happen. May knows this place well, and she can help both sides. She is truly amazing. Learn more about her specialty, crisis coaching for couples and individuals, at sexliesandconsciousness.com.
How do you like my new commercial, huh?
Ominous. And so perfect. You're such a sniff.
I love it.
But you know, that's what it sounds like. It was perfect. You know, it's like your deepest, darkest secret and this ominous music. You know, and it's nothing. It's fun.
I know, but that's what it does. It feels like it for couples who are in crisis, and when they call me, you know, it just feels like they hit that dark alley. Oh, Maria, darling, you're on the line.
I'm here, May. I'm thrilled by the topic, and it's been healing just listening so far. It's really wonderful.
Give us a little snippet of what you're getting so far.
A snippet of what I'm getting. It's like, so this is what I love about you, May, is like that joyous, like what Gregory was saying, how you're speaking with this joy, like that feminine part of you, like there is like light-hearted, it's like you can hear it on your voice.
Yeah.
And how we are conditioning ourselves in our lives into stepping into the power of how we are and how we sound when we are in our power, which we could hear also with Stephen. So I think it's like it's very. I feel very intrigued and curious to see what Gregory is going to find with me.
Yay. Why don't you give him a question to start with?
So here's where I'm at. Like I have this like one part of me is, you were starting off with the conversation of what it means to step into like a conscious sex life. And during my past years, I've developed myself and came into a new phase in my sex life where I'm noticing like I want to have conscious sex. I want to meet other people that are conscious and mindful in their sex. And I'm noticing I'm living in a country where it's really difficult, and I'm also learning how to safe support men that I'm meeting in order to like negotiate a new kind of game that is going to look where I'm actually in power, without becoming a victim of circumstances, how sex is supposed to look like, rather compared to what I wanted to feel like. And I'm just sort of started to explore that, and it's amazing because I'm here also noticing that I'm actually learning guys something they didn't know. Like I'm opening up their eyes for something, like, and for me, like I opened up a window for myself of what's possible, and that's what I want to create more of in my life. And then there is that kind of grief that I also want to be in relationship with someone that can hold me there. And I'm feeling that I'm back in some kind of pattern of who I used to be, the one that was controlling my relationship, controlling my sex life, controlling the men I was having, because I learned now that I have this dissipated tremendous.
Okay, I think I've got an idea. I've got a picture here.
I'm happy.
A little bit.
Thank you.
Okay, if I may, Maria.
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot of noise. Okay, are we all set? Okay. One thing I'm hearing is this incredible caution and about thinking about how it's going to be and imagining what it's going to be like. And I'm going to refer back to just the energy behind May's voice, for example. Do you think she's planning that thought or that idea? Do you think when she gets into bed, she says, now you put your leg over here and you put your hand over there? And you see, rather than having something extremely spontaneous. What I'm getting at here is that you say you're wanting to think this whole thing through. Are you willing, like, to give? What does that sound right, though? First of all, like you really.
I'm a thinker person.
Yeah.
I'm a thinker person. Yeah.
Are you willing to be open to the possibility that your mind will just mess it up?
Yes.
Okay. And you started to actually say it. Oh, I think I'm falling into my old personality. See, in your conversation, you're building all of these walls around yourself as though you're going to find somebody out there that is going to give you what you want rather than be what it is you want and attract that like energy.
It's almost like this is the I don't know, are we on 25th or 22nd century? The pain of spiritually aware people. Like we become so responsible, and we just done so much work. And I say we because I'm with it. I'm in it with Maria and everyone else out there. That we're so responsible. And trying to be responsible for our sex, our relationship, how we are in the world, and all the stuff, that we're in our head strategizing without realizing it, and then that actually traps us. Instead of just really surrender to the fact that we are human, we're going to make a bunch of mistakes, and we're going to fail in relationship, and that we do our best to be conscious, and the more conscious we try to be, the more unconscious we discover we are. And that's where it is. And just surrender to that and love that state of humanness rather than being so, trying so hard in creating that right, spiritually aware relationship. It's just a paradox.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I got it. Yes.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I see, there's this beautiful woman walking down the street, and I think I'll go and meet her, and then instantly, if I want to know what all my fears are, that's the perfect time to look. Everything will come up, if it's going to come up at all, right then. And I either will have that opportunity or I will blow it. And that happens to all of us. Like as I hear you talk, I feel like my heart beating, because I say, oh, yes, I would love, I'm thinking to myself, I would love to have another beautiful relationship like this, and everything is perfect how I would imagine it. What in the world is perfect? See, I get tripped up right at the beginning, You see, by thinking this whole thing through, you're creating a situation where you must find somebody subservient, but you're looking for somebody who's powerful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so profound. Let me just stop there for a second, because I hear this in all of my women friends. Like, we're all very powerful, independent women. We want a man that could meet us, if not take, strong enough and powerful enough to take us. But we have so many rules now, so many books now on how best to be with us, that we end up creating subservient men instead of powerful men that could lead us and could lead with us. It's such a tricky area.
Yeah.
Do you realize that trying to be in control means you're out of control? That means you're out of control. Do you see what I mean? If you're wanting to create a situation that you can be in control of, there's something inside of you that's saying, I'm not in control here.
But I'm not trying to find situations. I actually find that what I want to find is situations where I'm losing my control. That is the relationship I'm looking for. And I got to think of it, and I can see what kind of person it creates me, like how much more of my feminine that is brought out there, and how much more messiness I can be, because I'm just being totally different, because I can't be in my mind in these situations.
So Gregory, I got something here. We have to stop talking, because all we're doing is give Maria more things in her head to be in there. I just got that her body needs like an energetic massage from us, and I don't really know how to do that, but I just got that. Ooh, we gotta like transmit some energy across the world to Maria, and rub her boobies and play with her hips and all this stuff, and get her just giggling and softening and playing with us, rather than triggering her head into thinking about how she's doing it and if she's doing it right or wrong.
Whispering softly in her ear.
Yeah. Hi, darling.
My fingertips are, just trickling up and down your back, And energetically, we're going to send this incredibly pulsating, vibrating, spinning, beautiful white orb just above your head. This is going to come from the seat of existence of all of May's energy, all of my energy, and Brandon and Steve and Lenore and everybody else that you could possibly know, as you're there already, the consciousness of who they are. I'm going to take all of those beautiful fears and all of those excitements and put them into that ball and see how they just vibrate and pulsate. We're going to hold that over your head now and just let it wash through you right now.
I want to take all of that and just like shoot it up your vagina, honey, and just fill you up.
Yeah, I can really feel my vagina right now and the heat.
Yeah.
And I feel empty in my head.
Yay, that's it. You know, it's like I've never done a show for
like I feel I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say right now. I'm feeling dumb. And it's good.
Yay.
Good.
Oh, honey, that's it. We surround you with this energy and this love and this ease and allowing you to just be energetically, holistically, yummily, I don't know what else to say other than energetically being fucked in a good way, you know, just like letting us enter you and allow you to just fill up and see the joy and the abundance of life rather than trying to figure it out. You can't.
Yeah. I feel it resonates with me, and there is a calmness, and like I feel penetrated on a deep core level.
Thank you for receiving that. I feel so quote unquote wrong over here. I'm just like, wow, what am I saying out loud on the radio? What am I doing? But it just feels it needed that. So thank you for receiving that. Well, here we are. The hour is already almost gone by. And, you know, as I'm listening, as I'm reflecting on Lenora, Stephen, and Maria, I saw a very common thread, Gregory, that's kind of interesting, which is in each person, it's like there's a way that we're so responsible, we clamp down our power, and then we clamp down on our sex. You know, like Lenora with herself, that the body is ready to play and ready to have lots of yummy sex out there and scream at the top of her lung going, woo, this is so good. And she's being very responsible. So, you know, let's not be too much because we might blah, blah, blah. And then with Stephen being afraid of like his power might hurt or might kill or, you know, or the whole powerlessness thing. And so he's just overly gentle and push himself all the way to the if I'm really gentle and really soft in the world, then I won't hurt anybody and I can support and love everybody. And Maria being so responsible, like I want a conscious relationship, I want a conscious man, I want blah, 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 and it's so much that it creates rigidity around her. Isn't that interesting? I've never really like seen it all in one place before like that. Are you there, Gregory? Did I lose you? Anyway, I'll have a conversation by myself then. Oh wait, maybe Lenora can come back and Maria can come back and talk with me. But anyway, so that's kind of what I saw from this first scratch at sex and power. You know, what do we do with power? How do we play with our power? And where is our power clogged up?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, May, and I have a lot of matches with Maria on that hyper-responsibility piece.
Yeah. It's just intriguing to me. So anyway, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I can feel it too, how I thought I had let go of my rigidity. Yeah. And I was surprised that it's still there. I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. Wow, yeah. And I can feel you when you talk, you know. It's just kind of like, wow, I didn't, like there's so much thinking and so much responsibility, it just feels really rigid.
Exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, I see that we have a couple other callers, and we have 5 minutes. So if anyone who's on the line who wants to say something, your mic is open, so you're welcome to contribute. Unless you take it off to some weird places, and then I'm going to mute you. Anything else? Anybody want to say anything for? All right. So I'm going to bring the show to a close. Thank you so much, Gregory. I don't know where he went. It's probably technical stuff that took him away from us. But Gregory will come back. Actually, there's two things. Gregory has workshops around the country. He call it Inward Bound. And in July 7 and 8, he will be in the Bay Area in California. I'm hosting him. I'm bringing him in to do some in-person work for 2 days. So if you are interested in that and you are in Northern California during that weekend, please contact me at Amazing at Sex, Lies, and Consciousness. Amazing at AMAIZING at sexliesandconsciousness.com. Let's see. And next week, I have a really special show with Ann Betts. Ann is, she's been on a couple shows before. She makes being intelligent sexy. So Ann is going to talk about sex and the brain, and how the brain impacts our sex and how sex impacts our brain. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what her research will bring to us, but I know it will be titillating and educational, and you'll just get a bunch of stuff for your brain and get really hot and heavy at the same time because it's within. Thank you so much for listening to Sex, Lies, and Consciousness. I work with individuals and couples who are in crisis with their sex lives and connections. You can find me and connect with me on my Facebook fan page, Sex, Lies, and Consciousness. And I have a new website now. It's also called sexliesandconsciousness.com. It's building phase, but there's a lot of great information on there already. So stop by and participate, add some comments. I would love that. Other than that, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.
Do you want more sex, lies, and consciousness? Access our archives at sexliesandconsciousness.com. While you're there, please leave your comments or suggestions for the show and participate in current SLC conversations with other listeners worldwide.